More than 1 million people out of work, the worst recession in 29 years, a second wave of infections. This pandemic has triggered several problems for Australia. The country's Finance Minister Mathias Cormann faces a tall ask. He's experienced, having served as the Minister of Finance under 3 Prime Ministers since 2013, but his troubles do not end there. He has to deal with a war-mongering China too, angered by Australia's push for an investigation into the origins of the Wuhan virus. Beijing has been slapping tariffs. How does he plan to tackle these challenges? Earlier today, I spoke to Mr. Cormann. Here's an excerpt from that exclusive interview. Your Prime Minister was the first leader to call for an investigation into the coronavirus outbreak. More than 100 countries backed that call at the WHO. Are you satisfied with the pace of and the shape that investigation has taken? And do you believe that it will yield something meaningful?
Well, we do hope that it will yield something meaningful. I mean, it's just good practice that when something bad happens, that you try and get to the bottom of what happened and why, and to make sure that you put yourself in the best possible position to prevent such events into the future and to improve the way you can respond to it. Now, in this circumstance right now, around the world, countries continue to deal with the crisis. I mean, we are very focused on the crisis response. That's the first priority, and that is as you would expect, and that's entirely appropriate. We do expect that the independent review by the WHO will continue at the appropriate pace, and eventually we do hope that it will yield outcomes that will help the world avoid such a disaster in the future and respond to it better in the future.
Would you say that the tariffs imposed by China on Australia were a retaliation after your demand for an investigation?
Look, we have a very important relationship with China. We have a very important relationship with countries all around the world when it comes to trade. But of course, I mean, these are mutually beneficial relationships, and from time to time there will be differences of opinion on certain issues, and every country, every sovereign country will address these issues from the perspective of its national interests, and we take the view that between mutually respectful countries in a mutually respectful relationship, these issues have got to be worked through positively and constructively. And as a trading nation, we are committed to having the best possible relationship with all countries around the world, and that's the position we come from.
Would you say that Australia is in a trade war with China?
No, we don't use language like that. We have a very important trade relationship with China. China buys our product because they value and need our product. I mean, that's obviously one of our biggest exports into China is iron ore, and the reason we are able to sell iron ore into China is because it's of high quality, and China is able to use that iron ore in order to help develop and grow their economy. And it's, as I say, I mean, trade ultimately is most successful when it's mutually beneficial. That is how we always look at it.
I'll come back to that statement from you. But staying with the relationship between Australia and China, China has been Australia's largest trading partner. As of June this year, China accounted for more than 30% of Australian exports. Considering this dependence, quote unquote, on China, can your government still pursue an aggressive strategy when it comes to an investigation on the coronavirus?
Well, I don't accept the framing of the relationship as one of dependence. I mean, we sell Australian products and services all around the world, and we sell them into countries where there is a demand for the products and services we sell. The reason we are able to sell Australian products and services into China is because there is a demand for those products out of China. It is a mutually beneficial relationship.
Are certain forces in China threatening your national interest?
No. I mean, we have a very, as I say, we have a very important strategic as well as commercial bilateral relationship with China. It's a relationship, of course, which we value, and which we will continue to do our best to have the best possible relationship. But when there are issues from time to time, as there will be in any relationship, on which we have a difference of opinion, our perspective is that those issues have to be worked through constructively on their merits, and that is what we set out to do.
How would you describe Australia's relationship with India at the moment?
Well, Australia's relationship with India is incredibly warm. It's a very important relationship. Our Prime Minister, Scott Morrison, and Prime Minister Modi have a very strong personal relationship. They enjoy working with each other on matters of mutual benefit. And of course, I mean, Australia has a very strong, highly valued Indian migrant community here in Australia, which is making a magnificent contribution to our country. So, I mean, we believe that the Indian-Australian bilateral relationship is in very good shape, and we look forward to it be going from strength to strength into the future.
You worked with 3 different prime ministers as finance minister. Would you pick a favourite?
I've enjoyed working with all 3 of them, and clearly, right now, Prime Minister Morrison is doing an outstanding job.
You can catch the full interview with the Australian Finance Minister at 8:30 p.m. on Tuesday, only on Wion.